you tell them, if something happens,
See our female cop, Mary.
you gotta take her. So she gets.
We haven't had female.
That's the same advice they gave my boys.
We had through the sand.
You know, it's one thing
Mary
to
came
live
along, they're
like
gonna
you
change.
live.
They said.
I said, can we have it at your house? And Claudia's like, yeah. It's like, so we had to do all the decorating, all the cake, you know, I made all the food and everything.
No, my daughter-in-law did all that.
Well, that's good.
We had a Paw Patrol team.
And then I watched that, so I watched
Paw Patrol. We
certain
did
types
that.
of race cars and her too.
Yeah, she was so shy.
Right.
And then I checked the
All
second
these
run also.
Oh, she was real shy.
What's a better run?
Yeah.
All these
And I was just bringing out the numbers of the
and all these people.
how many kids are
Yeah.
He's still so sweet.
Thank you.
cat and how many are furry. Just so much of the things.
You know it.
Keep building, right? Like if it's my age, I can get the cat.
She got her at daycare. They take pictures, and she is really shy.
I didn't post anything.
They'll see her. She was 20 days pictures. You can tell she's people over 50.
I was a little concerned it would look too much.
Once again, if anybody wants to address city council under public communication, you must sign in with the clerk.
Steal up.
But I think those are good, I think that's good data.
Hoping that she has.
I'm still hate the fact
When you look at your time.
that trying to get through there.
Andy.
My phone was turned off. I was in, and then I didn't realize it was turned off. Well, yeah, and I texted you back. I said I picked up at 7.
But
Did you back? No, because you sent me another message saying Garrett was going to pick up, and I said that you'll my
Right.
yeah. Well, my other message was that Garrett was picking it up, then you'd both be late for the meeting because he was late.
Class and you like put food in the shape. Just can't do that. What is wrong with
she's been on the hill.
You know what? We ought to ask if we're going to have plugs underneath our.
My grandson. That's kind of
I think,
Yes, it
yeah.
does.
It's
Just not the
That's the third birthday.
Oh, that should be a priority.
No, I'm sure there will be.
I think that's should be birthday reunion. There's my new grandson.
But you gotta have a.
Connor.
Not to have that.
I mean, I could have charged it, I could have charged
the
it
local college
like an organized person or whatever.
Wait, you're not doing
No,
that.
because you're
You're only running 2 stores.
called the Green Mountain Valley Cat. Skinny cat. That's their hill.
That's right.
It's kind of goes to Middlebury. So
Good evening, it's 7:30. I'm going to call the March 15th Kent City Council meeting to order. Would the clerk please read the roll?
Mr. Amrine? Mr. Amrine?
Here.
Mr. De Leon? Mr. Ferrara?
Here.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Here.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish? Here. Mr. Sidoti?
Here.
Mr. Turner? Here. Ms. Wallach? Here.
Mr. Kuhar has asked to be excused. I need a motion.
Move to excuse.
Second.
Second by Roger. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Would Ms. Schaefer-Bish, you have opening remarks and pledge allegiance?
Well, I think I don't have any remarks today, other than it's really nice to see a crowded council chambers. We know that there's people on video watching, but it's really, really wonderful to have people here in this space, and we hope you'll come to our new city hall when it's built. So with that, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, we have some introduction. Would Police Chief Scheer come to the podium?
Good evening, everyone. First off, I want to thank Council for giving us a little bit of time tonight to introduce some of our newest officers. These officers have actually been with us for a little over 6 months now. So one of the things that in the difficult hiring market we've seen, really across the country, in every industry, but really our industry has been hit very hard by it. One of the things that I decided pretty early on in that is we're not going to jeopardize quality. And if we need to wait people out and stuff like that, we will. So we hired these 3 gentlemen here, and they all still had to go through the police academy. One of the things I think is really important to point out is we had some people who'd been through the police academy that weren't the quality of person that we were looking for in our police officers. So I felt it was really important that we seek the quality people and get them trained the way that they need to be trained in order to be able to do the job. So first off, I just want to say that says a lot about these 3 gentlemen up here tonight and just the quality of people that they are. We'll take a couple minutes here to introduce each one of them individually. The first officer here is David Walker. David's 30 years old. He comes to us a little bit unique compared to the other 2. David was a police officer in North Carolina for about 4 years before he came to Ohio. When I say came to Ohio, he was from here, went there, came back. One of the things we found during that process is the state of Ohio can be very, very frustrating and difficult to deal with at times. And although David had been through a police academy and been a police officer for 4 years, and his initial police academy was more hours of training than Ohio required at the time, Ohio still required him to essentially attend 60% of the academy here again and still taken past the state test. So he's now been through a couple police academies and certified a couple different times with state tests. The next officer here is Officer Stephen Kern. He's 28 years old, lives here locally. Stephen comes to us, although he didn't have experience as a sworn police officer before. He was a full-time employee with the Ohio National Guard and their counter-drug unit, where he worked as an analyst, essentially. For lack of a better way to say it, he was a detective for the feds for a little while. So he comes to us with that experience. He's also a member serving in the National Guard, currently still, where he's just a reservist in the Ohio National Guard. I apologize, I'm going to jump back to David there. David also has his bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Kent State University. To go back to Stephen, Stephen has his bachelor's degree from the University of Akron in emergency management. Don't feel bad. I think we've talked about this. I have the same degree from the same college. And lastly is Officer Derek Knapp. Derek is born and bred here in Kent. He's a local kid, grew up here, lived in the city his whole life, graduated from Roosevelt. When he graduated from Roosevelt, he went to Kent State University as well and obtained his bachelor's degree in criminal justice. So that's one of the things that, a town like us, a college town, we're kind of proud to say that our level of education in our department is generally speaking higher than most departments. These 3 all coming in all have bachelor's degrees. And like I said, we really sought the quality. We do have one other new officer. Unfortunately, these 3 and she had training today, and she has to work tonight at night shift as well. So we excused her from being here tonight. I will tell you a little bit about her. It's Officer Mary Ballgren. Mary's, again, kind of a unique story. She's our first, if you remember, we came to first the Civil Service Commission and then to Council, and we got approval to hire lateral transfers. So Mary is our first lateral transfer hire. Mary came to us most recently from the Carroll County Sheriff's Office, but she also worked for some time for the Jackson Township Police Department and the Summit County Sheriff's Office as well. So she's been a police officer for over 7 years, just coming here to us with some good experience. Mary also is a graduate of Kent State University, and she has a bachelor's degree in zoology. So she actually took a hiatus from law enforcement temporarily and went and worked as a zookeeper at zoos. So kind of just a cool story, cool experience. So I just thought I'd share
Does that help?
I think so. If we ever have like one of those circumstances where like the wild animals get out, we'll call Mary. So again, I appreciate your time tonight. I don't want to take up too much. I know you have a full agenda tonight. So thank you for letting us come in tonight and introduce these officers to you. And we'll let you get on with the meeting.
Welcome aboard. Welcome. All right, moving ahead, I need approval of the minutes for February 15th. Heidi?
I move approval of the minutes for February 15th, 2023. Special committee meeting minutes and the regular meeting minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mike. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, getting into communication, public communication. The clerk has a list of names and she'll read them off one at a time. What?
Matt Morrison.
Oh. Matt, before you speak, I have to say this. While the law does not require council to provide time for the public comment, we have historically invited the public to make comment, and we appreciate their input. This is a time when residents and others can make comments on matters that concern them. However, we will not engage in any debate, and as President of Council, I reserve the right to end any public comment that is destructive, embarrassment, harassment, or otherwise objectionable. We ask that you come to the podium, give your name and address, and we'll give you 3 minutes to state your concern. Go ahead, Matt.
Thank you. I promised Ms. Wilkins I would use a 3-minute timer to honor that. So good evening. Matt Morrison, 5185 Sunnybrook Road in Kent, Ohio. I'm here tonight to beg for our city's officials' continued and additional support around the ongoing issue of low-frequency noises that our neighborhood as of late has become plagued by from the machinery at the Land O'Lakes facility. I'm sure that many, if not all, of the panel are aware of the situation at this point, but I'm going to supply everyone with a 60-page handout on the matter that has details including our petition that was signed by 59 residents, statements, notes from 2 town hall meetings, and detailed complaints captured on our city's website. I want to say thank you to our councilman at large, Roger Sidoti, for coming to my home in early February and talking to me and my wife about coming to council. Initially, we discussed that I would speak at last month's meeting. However, at our second town hall on the matter, it was decided to wait and allow time for city officials to arrange a meeting with city management, the Land O'Lakes management, and some of the residents of our neighborhood. The neighbors left our town hall and our community feeling hopeful that there would be timely progress on the matter. The meeting with Land O'Lakes did not come to fruition, and we were advised there was a request made for the meeting, but no further updates were communicated to us. So I want to thank our law director, Hope Jones, and our Commissioner of Health, Joan Siddell, for all the work they put into this project already, and our Ward 3 Councilman, Robin Turner, for taking our calls, bringing our community network together, suggesting our petition in town hall meetings, and organizing the team of other city officials that helped us so far. Unfortunately for us in the neighborhood, the sound torture still continues. The number of sleepless nights continue to rise week after week, and the neighborhood's at its wit's end. The sounds that penetrate through our walls are mentally taxing, and we're frustrated, and some of the neighbors are entertaining the idea of giving up on city's help and leaving Kent altogether. You know, in last month's council meeting, it was noted that there was concern around the low number of property owners that actually reside in Kent. Our neighborhood is 100% homeowner occupancy. So, you know, this is an example of something that's allowed to happen in the ideal community that Kent's longing for. The longer the Land O'Lakes is allowed to destroy our neighborhood with the noises from their machinery, the more it gives the impression that the relationship between Kent's Department of Community Development and Land O'Lakes is more important to city management than the well-being of the people that live in this city. Please demonstrate that's not the case. We want to believe that that's not the case. But the more that we have to hear this noise, continue to lose sleep, receive no updates, no commitments, or don't have any milestones to look forward to, then that's the impression that we're left with. We all know the term that actions speak louder than words, but we're here tonight begging the city officials, please help us. Please work with Land O'Lakes to have them put up noise abatement materials to contain the noise at that factory as soon as possible. So with that, I'd like to provide, I've told you, I'd like to provide the handout that I spoke to in my statement. I understand that my time's up. I'll entertain questions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Second name?
Diane Hadaway.
Yes. Thank you.
Name and address, Diane, please.
Diane Hadaway, 225 Shaw Drive. Okay. The persistent machinery noise emanating from the Land O'Lakes facility is tormenting, unhealthy, and unacceptable. For me, the noise is most noticeable in the 3 rooms at the front of my home, facing the direction of the Land O'Lakes plant. This includes my home office and guest room. Overnight guests are unable to sleep without earplugs due to the loud droning and whirring noise. I work full-time from home, and listening to this noise all day in my home office is irritating. I encourage all of you to listen to our recorded evidence in your living room or bedroom for an extended period. As you can see from the almost 100 complaints filed on the city website, this is continuous noise pollution. If it were visible in the form of smoke blanketing our homes, perhaps action would be more urgent. The complaints clearly show this noise is adversely affecting the health of residents. City Ordinance 509.12 states that it is unlawful for any owner or persons in control of any structure to make any excessive or unusually loud noise which disturbs or endangers the comfort, repose, or health, peace, or safety of persons of ordinary sensibilities within the city. This ordinance goes on to state that violation is an unclassified misdemeanor, punishable by a fine of up to $1,000 and up to 30 days in jail. There is no special provision in the code for industry as there is for agricultural activities. The location of Land O'Lakes just outside of a residential zone does not preclude them from all responsibility for the disturbing noise they create well beyond their property line. We have been patiently working with the city as a group through our contacts Matt Morrison and Del Tiakelli. Perhaps to convey the daily level of torment and frustration experienced, the 100-plus individuals in our neighborhood should directly contact city officials on a daily basis. We would like to see more aggressive action by city leaders. The plant manager has not responded to city officials in over 4 weeks. We hope that city officials are not more concerned about the business relationship with Land O'Lakes than the health and well-being of tax-paying citizens. We have been told that Land O'Lakes has a good relationship with the city of Kent. Clearly, Land O'Lakes does not value that relationship if they will not even return a call or acknowledge a request for a meeting. Land O'Lakes must recognize the noise pollution they are creating, accept responsibility, and take the necessary actions to mitigate the noise. We expect Land O'Lakes to honor their professed commitment to be a good neighbor, and we expect City Council and management to hold them accountable and persuade them to resolve the issue in a timely manner, understanding the longer this goes on, the more our health is negatively impacted. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Kendra Morrison.
Hello. I'm Kendra Morrison, 5185 Sunnybrook Road, Kent, Ohio. I can't even begin to express my frustration with this entire situation around the noises from Land O'Lakes that keep me awake at night. In just a few months, it's going to be a whole year of us trying to live with these noises that have crept their way to our property almost a half a mile away. The constant disruption of sleep is a major health concern. I feel like I'm being tortured every night. It's so hard to function like a normal person when you're sleep deprived. Why is it taking so long, and why are we having to jump through so many hoops just to have Land O'Lakes follow the same sound ordinance the rest of the people of Kent have to? If the city has reached out, why hasn't Land O'Lakes gotten back to you? If they did get back to you, why hasn't anyone let us know what the discussions are being had around fixing this issue? It seems suspicious that a company hasn't reached back out to the management of the city they operate in, knowing that there is a health concern involved with this request. All we are asking for is a sound issue to be resolved so that we can sleep again like we did a year ago. Please make this a priority, and please work with Land O'Lakes to get them to contain the noises coming from their machinery. There are several options that are easily accessible and common for industrial facilities like them. There are wraps they can use, there's mass load vinyl options, there are abatement walls that are lightweight and specifically insulated to help with low frequencies. A simple Google search will show that anyone, even like myself who isn't in the industry, can see that this is a simple fix. I don't feel like we're asking for a lot here. We're only asking for our city officials to enforce the laws that are already in place. I appreciate those of you that have already put the time and effort into this, and I look forward to your continued support and a quick resolve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nancy Walksmith.
Hi, Nancy Walksmith. 234 Shaw Drive in the condos. And I have lived in the area for 2.5 years, and I have noticed that the sound from Land O'Lakes has increased dramatically in the last 6 months. I believe we had some photo information that the design of the roofing has changed, and so something that they're doing has increased the sound. I guess I'm one of the fortunate ones because I have 30% hearing loss in both ears. So I can take my hearing aids out at night and not be disturbed. Unfortunately, not everybody can do that. And it just doesn't seem like they're being a good neighbor. I mean, we all pay taxes. I know they're part of the tax, income for the city, but I think we're all equal. And I would hate to see that the value of our homes are decreased because people will say, well, gosh, it's so noisy there. We don't want to pay $300,000 for a condo, which is what they're going for right now. So we just ask to be heard and see if there isn't some kind of compromise available that they can maybe decrease the sound. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Robert Schaefer.
Robert Schaefer. My lovely wife Carla's with me tonight. 278 Shaw Drive. We're down on the very end of the crossings there, and we love the facility and where we live. We're both lifelong residents of Kent. We've retired 4 years ago and quit working after 40 plus years and moved into our retirement home to enjoy the noise that comes from the factory, outdoes the train, the planes, the traffic on 261, the material dumping. It's all just pretty sporadic and only lasts a minute or two. The machine noise from the factory is constant 24/7, and it can become very loud at times. It's like somebody's got a volume there and they're turning it up, turning it down. Last night was a good example. I was up for 3 hours. Every 10 minutes it revved up, back down, revved up. Now we can see the factory from our home. It looks like a city over there. We appreciate the company being a good company in our area and paying taxes and employ so many people, but this is noise pollution from where we're at, and it's constant 24/7. The only thing I'll say is put yourselves in our position, retire, want to move to a nice quiet place. We're not getting the nice quiet place. Ditto everyone else's conversation before me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Brother, Amy?
Okay, the next person is Elizabeth Justice. She's the last speaker.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jer Sitko.
I almost missed
you. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
We're in big trouble.
My dog on you. He's a very scary guy. Jer Sitko, 267 Shaw Drive. I finally have an answer to something I've had since I moved in there. I would hear this noise in my condo, and I'm like, what's the neighbors got their TV on so loud that this loud noise is coming through the wall? And I was like, weird. It was just a noise to the wall. So it was there ever since I moved in, and now I know what it's from. Land O'Lakes. There's times that I go to bed, I put my head on my pillow, and there's vibrating. So I have to keep moving my head around to try to place where it's not vibrating. Also notice that when I walk my dog and I'm between the buildings, whoops, I can hear this vroom, 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 vroom coming through. and it's annoying, and I think, I mean, it's got to be a simple solution for sound abatement. I mean, the highways do it with their brick walls and stuff. Land O'Lakes should be able to do it with some, whatever, so that.
Thank you, sir. Amy,
Okay, so now it's Lizbeth Justice.
Betsy, 3 minutes, your name and address.
Betsy Justice, 211 Brady Street. Good evening. I'm Executive Director of Love Light Incorporated, a local grassroots nonprofit now in its 28th year of service to the community. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to share our exciting vision with you. The STAR Institute, which is an umbrella concept which includes the proposed purchase and renovation of the property at 1541 South Water Street in Kent. In your packet is the Love Light story for you to read at your leisure to provide some background on our organization. You may be aware that for some time Love Light has been pursuing the goal of acquiring a property in order to create an innovative model intergenerational child development and lifelong learning center, STAR Child, which is an acronym for Service, Teaching, Advocacy, and Research Center for Human Integration, Learning, and Development. When the center is not in session, we plan to use the facility and grounds for other programs and services for the community. On the back of the Show Love, Share Love, Spread Love, Invest in Our Children paper in your packet is a list of anticipated benefits, and I'll quickly go over these. Truly make a difference in the lives of the children and their families, including those who are low income, during the time they're directly served at Star Child, as well as putting them on a trajectory toward future success and well-being, not only impacting the quality of their lives, but also contributing to a healthy community and society. Enhance the learning of high school and college students who will gain valuable experience working with the children and in other areas as well. Support the mental, emotional, and physical health of the senior citizens, we call them golden treasures, who will be interacting with the children, students, and community members as they share their time, knowledge, experiences, and love. Support the local economy versus job creation and purchase of goods and services. Enhance the Kent community and beyond through the creation of an attractive campus which provides quality child care as well as maintaining green space, so important for the environment and the mental and physical health of people in the area. Expand services and programs for the local community, especially ensuring equitable participation of all its members with special attention given for low income and minorities. Demonstrate innovative approaches to removing barriers to effective learning and promoting healthful growth, development, and functioning, and sharing these approaches with parents and practitioners in Northeast Ohio and beyond. And finally, last but not least, house and financially support the Love Light organization so we can continue to serve the community for years to come. This project supports several of the city's strategic goals, in particular, communities within the city to strengthen social bonds and enhance the value of people in city neighborhoods, city and university synergy to expand collaborative opportunities that enrich the university community experience, support for natural resources, to protect and promote the city's natural resources, and superior quality of life, to enhance lifestyle choices through the physical and social environment, as well as helping to meet some economic development and community safety objectives. So I'm here tonight to invite you collectively and individually to partner with Love Light in bringing this vision to fruition and to officially support this project financially. In your packet are some ways to do this, through a resolution of support or whatever ways you may choose. And in your folder, you have a bookmark, and on the one side, there's a picture of 4-year-old Violet reaching up toward the light. She can't quite touch it, but when her older brother lifts her up, you can see the difference it makes when we all lift each other up and support each other. And you also have some extra material in your packet in case you want to spread the word. So, thank you.
Thank you. Is that it? In conclusion, we take it seriously that you come to our meeting and share your concern with it. As far as the Shaw Drive property, our administration is trying to work with the administration of Land O'Lakes to set up that meeting. It seems that the hang-up right now is Land O'Lakes getting the information back to set that meeting. So, don't think that we're not doing anything. We are doing something. I know some of the council people have been more involved than some of them, but there's some reason for that too. So, but once again, thank you for coming tonight. We're going to get into our regular council meeting. You're welcome to stay here and listen to us. Written communications?
Letter from Mary Kennelly to Mr. Jim Bowling, copying City Council in reference to the street signage study. That was done in 2018-2019, thanking him for his work and thanking council for erecting solar signage on Middlebury Road and State Route 261 was received and forwarded to council on February 20th. Another letter from Mary Kennelly to Mr. Claiborne, copying City Council, thanking him for replacing the torn and tattered American flag flying at his business, was received and shared with council on February 20th. An email from Oliver Wench from the Parks and Rec Department was received February 16th, announcing a job fair being hosted at the Kent Rec Center on Sunday, March 19th. The Planning Commission agenda and staff report for March 7th was received February 28th. Kent City Board of Health agenda and statistical report for March 6th was received on March 1st. Standing Rock Cemetery Board of Trustees agenda for March 9th was received on March 1st. And the notice from the Board of Elections regarding galley proofs of all the ballots to be used in the primary election on May 2nd will be on display from February 28th through March 2nd, and that was received on February 28th.
Okay, thank you. City Manager's report, Mr. Amory.
Yes, I'd like to move items 1 through 6 on the City Manager's report.
Second to it. Tracy, you second it?
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's right. I just have just a quick statement. I just wanted to thank Race Place and the other group that donated to the Kent Parks and Rec. It's much appreciated by the Parks Department and by the families in Kent. That's all.
All right, well, okay, now we're back to the City Manager's report again. All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we're going to move into standing committees. Committee of the Whole. I need a motion to approve the meeting in March 1st, 23 minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Roger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Now I need a motion for the action.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Roger again. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I appreciate that. Would the clerk read draft number 2023-13 in title only?
Draft 2023-013, an ordinance approving the current replacement pages to the City of Kent codified ordinances and declaring an emergency.
Suspension. Second.
Second by Roger. Please call the roll for suspension.
Mr. Amorine?
Yes.
Mr. Dalio?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg? Ms. Schaefer-Bish? Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Ms. Wallach?
Ms. Wallach?
Yes.
Move adoption.
Second.
Second by Heidi. Is there any discussion on adopting this ordinance? Seeing none, please call the roll for adoption.
Mr. Amorine?
Mr. Amorine?
Yes.
Mr. DeLeon?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
Mr. Kuhar?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Ms. Rosenberg?
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Mr. Sidoti?
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Ms. Wallach?
Ms. Wallach?
Yes.
Ordinance
Ordinance 2023-013 is passed.
Okay, thank you. That's it for committee of the whole. Community Development, and Mr. Kuhar is absent. Mrs. Rosenberg?
Yes, I'd like to move the meeting minutes from March 1st.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ferrer. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I appreciate that.
We have no action.
You're right. Okay, that's it for community development, health and public safety. Mr. Amorine.
Yes, I'd like to move the committee meeting minutes of March 1st.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ferrer. Any discussion on those minutes? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank
I'd
you.
like to move the 2 actions recommended.
Second.
Second by Mr. DeLeon. Any discussion on the actions? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. We have a couple drafts. Would the clerk read draft number 2023-14? 2023-014.
Draft
Title only.
2023-014, an ordinance authorizing
city
city manager or his designee to accept a Vista grant in the amount of $159,062 for the City of Kent Health Department and declaring an emergency.
Move suspension.
Second.
Second by Roger. Please call the roll on suspension.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Farrar?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Ms. Wallach?
Ms. Wallach?
Yes. Mr. Amrine?
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Move adoption.
Second.
Second by Mike. Is there any discussion on adopting this ordinance? Please call the roll for adoption.
Mr. De Leon?
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Farrar?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Ms. Wallach?
Ms. Wallach?
Yes. And Mr.
And Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ordinance
Ordinance
2023-014
is passed.
Okay, thank you. The clerk read draft number 2023-15 in title only.
Draft
Draft
2023-015,
2023-015, an ordinance authorizing the city manager or his designee to accept a grant from the Ohio EPA in the amount of $25,000 to be used to fund the mosquito control program through April 2024 and declaring an emergency.
Move suspension.
Second.
Second by Gwen. Please call the roll for suspension.
Mr. Farrar?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg? Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Ms. Wallach?
Ms. Wallach?
Mr. Amrine?
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Move adoption.
Second.
By Garrett. Is there any discussion on adopting this ordinance? Please call the roll for adoption.
Mr. Farrar?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Schaefer-Bish?
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Ms. Wallach?
Ms. Wallach?
Yes. Mr. Amrine?
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-015 passes.
Okay, that's it for health and public safety, streets and sidewalks. Mr. Sidoti?
Yes, I'd like to move the minutes of March 1st, 2023.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I'd also like to move the recommended action.
Second.
Second by Mr. De Leon. Any discussion on the action? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. We have a draft here. Would the clerk read draft number 2023-16 in title only?
Draft 2023-016, a resolution of the City of Kent, Ohio to develop, implement, and monitor a Vision Zero plan to eliminate traffic fatalities and severe injuries while increasing safe, healthy, and equitable mobility for all and declaring an emergency.
With suspension.
Second.
Second by Mr. De Leon. Please call the roll for suspension.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes. Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Ms. Wallach?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes. Move adoption.
Second.
Second by Roger. Is there any discussion on adopting this ordinance? Seeing none, please call the roll for adoption.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Ms. Rosenberg?
Ms.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Ms. Wallach?
Ms. Wallach?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
Resolution 2023-016 passes.
Okay, thank you. That's it for streets and sidewalks. Finance Committee, Mr. De Leon.
I'll move the March 1st, 2023 committee meeting.
Second.
Second by Roger. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I'd like to move the one action recommended.
I'll second.
Second by Roger again. Is there any discussion on the action? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. Would the clerk read draft number 2023-017 in title only?
Draft 2023-017, an ordinance authorizing the city manager or his designee to accept the Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council NOPEC Energized Community Grant Award in the amount of $54,794 and declaring an emergency.
Move suspension.
Second.
Second by Mike. Please call the roll for suspension.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Mr. Sidoti?
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Ms. Wallach?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes. Move adoption.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Ms. Rosenberg? Sorry.
Move adoption.
Second.
Second by Mike. Is there any discussion on this ordinance? Please call the roll for
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes. Mr. Sidoti?
Mr. Sidoti?
Ms. Wallach?
Yes.
Ms. Wallach?
Mr. Amrine?
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Rosenberg?
And Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes. Ordinance
Ordinance
2023-017
2023-017 passes.
Okay, that's it for business. Do we have any unfinished business to take care of? Anybody? Any new business? Tracy?
Yeah, I'd like to remind council that I brought this issue of low-frequency noise up over a year and a half ago with the Crawley tar problem, and then I had to fight to keep it on the pending list. And I recommended that we get ahead of this, and I think now's the time we need to deal with this again. So I'd like to make a motion to put it in committee to talk about again.
Second.
Second by Heidi. Further discussion, Tracy?
I'm sorry, what? I pretty much said everything I was going to say.
Heidi, you have further
But-
discussion?
Oh,
I'm going, go ahead, Tracy.
Yeah, there are easy fixes to us. You can buy baffles to put up, to put around it. I mean, they've had to deal with low-frequency noises in the rock business for many years, and and they know how to deal with it, so there's abatements all over the place you can use.
Heidi, you have any discussion?
Yeah, I mean, I think us discussing, policy is very important. So putting it in the committee is a good action. But I also want to say that it's really important to move on this problem and not let these residents have to suffer day in, day out the noise pollution that is so disturbing. And I totally understand that. It can be. So while it's not a motion, I would hope that the city staff would continue to put pressure on the management for this particular issue. Back to the policy. I think this is a very important issue to discuss. Low frequency sound can be very low frequency. It doesn't have to be banging and clanging and, loud, wake you up in the middle of the night sound, but it can be very disturbing to health, and I think we should explore what kinds of policy we can put around this issue.
Is there further discussion?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Glenn.
I just have a question on the motion. So this is just a general low-frequency noise. This isn't specific to any... Okay, just...
Correct. Yeah, the health risks of low frequency.
And for clarification, this is in general, because I don't want the motion you're going to make bog down the situation that we had to listen to tonight.
No, this is just in general to set up an
All right,
ordinance.
because the administration is working on the problem
Yeah, I did.
that we told about tonight. Okay, I just wanted clarification. Is it, anybody else have discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, is there any other new business? Council members' comment? Glenn?
Yeah, I just have a quick comment. I just wanted to thank our police chief for giving us the opportunity to meet and say hello and congratulate our new police officers. We have an outstanding police department, and hearing their credentials, a little bit about their background, about who they are, I think is a great way to talk to community members and share with them the caliber of police officer that we're recruiting and that we're looking for. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity for community members, should they want to attend a council meeting, to get a chance to say hello. And just thank you very much for giving us that opportunity. It's always a lot of fun to get a chance to see our new officers and those that are doing a very valuable and important job that isn't always easy, so it's much appreciated. Thank you. Please send our congratulations, or at least my congratulations. And I can't speak for everybody else, but my congratulations to them, so thank you.
Heidi?
Yes. I would like to thank Love Light for making a presentation and keeping us apprised of their progress in their search for a home for this wonderful organization that provides very important services for our children in this community. And I also want to reiterate that they are doing some fundraising to invest, I believe, in this home, but I think it's as a shareholder in children's future, and I do intend to make a donation.
Roger, you had your hand up?
No, I'd just like to piggyback a little bit on what Gwen had to say. But what I have to say is that they look so darn young to me. I tell you what, it's like I'm thinking, oh my God, I'll be pulled over by an 8th grader. I mean, that's
Did you have them in school, Roger?
No.
Payback is coming.
No, that's the scary part. That kid over there, I was retired after he was, I'm going, oh my gosh, are they young? No, I really like the idea that they do have degrees, and I would say that's important to some extent. I think the most important thing is getting good training by yourself and the rest of the staff. I think that's where the real training comes into play. I'm convinced that sometimes we put too much of an emphasis on that college education, and we don't realize how valuable the people are who are currently working in the job and what they can do to educate. So I appreciate your efforts, and of course our fire chief's efforts too in all those areas, because I think that's where it works. I think that's when it works well. So thanks for all your efforts.
Jack?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Betsy for coming to talk to us. I've met with her a few times, and I've also donated. I think it's a very a great cause, and I would really encourage people to read the information and take a look at what she's doing, because it's extremely important. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Farrar.
I would also echo the comments about the introduction of the police officers. And Roger, the way you drive, you are going to get pulled over by one of them. I went to school with one of the guy's fathers, too, right, at high school. So it is. I looked up there, I'm like, Andy? Right? So it is. But it says a lot about our community, that people that grew up in the community want to stay in the community and serve the community. So I think that's another nice attribute. And then I would also remind everyone that tonight the Kent State women play Syracuse in the NIT, and Friday Kent State has a chance of redemption for, I think it was a 2004 loss in the Elite Eight to Indiana, so they have a chance of redemption on Friday. So don't forget to tune into that also and support our local sports teams. Thank you.
Anybody else? Mayor comment. I'm with Roger. I have more interaction with the police department. For some reason, my office got stuck up on the third floor suite up there. But I think this is the first time I can remember we swore in 4 officers. Am I right, Chief? And you haven't met the best one yet, because we do have 3 Sams. And the new female officer we have now is Mary, and the last I heard, they're trying to change her name to Sam, so we have another Sam. But it's phenomenal. Like I said, they just do a good job. I mean, in well represented. In the napkin, I remember I went to school with his aunt. I mean, so that's a homegrown person there. So the other thing, I want to wish Kent State the best of luck. Friday when they play. I had the opportunity to stand down in the corner of Main and Water and cheer them on as they went out of Kent. I was there with the Chamber director and Main Street director, and for what it was worth, we had 30 people there. We wished them good luck as they went out of town, so good luck to them. I have nothing else, so we're going to adjourn. Oh, I'm sorry, Tracy.
Yeah, I was just, what's going on with the liaison person? Or
sustainability or the diversity?
The diversity.
It's advertised. I sent you guys an email with the job notice, and I don't remember when it's interview times. I could ask Suzanne, but it's advertised.
All right, I'll send that on. Okay, great.
It's on the website, yes.
That's
All right, we're adjourned.
Thank you.